Hello.
Is this the lovely and talented John Waters?
Well, I don't know how lovely, but yes, and talented. Thank you.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day to talk to my trash hero, the fabulous filmmaker, author, and bon vivant, John Waters.
Thank you for what song was that, though?
It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Oh, in the neighborhood. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, I'm not sure I know that song.
Yeah, well, from Mr. Rogers, and our
Yeah,
tro-
yeah, yeah.
our
I
tro-
never watched Mister Rogers, even as a child.
Well, I think you were a grown up when it came out because you are a little bit
Um,
older. But when I was a child, I remember back to, gosh, I wasn't a child, but I was a minor, and I probably shouldn't have been in the Orson Welles Cinema in Cambridge,
oh
Massachusetts.
yeah,
Do you remember?
All my films played there for a long time. Yeah, yeah.
And I went to the John Waters Film Festival and I saw Pink Flamingos and Female Troubles, but it was the premiere of Polyester. It was 81, right?
Yeah, they would let anybody underage in there then.
I I
But
love it.
yes, yeah, the Orson Welles was a great. Boston's still a great place for my films. It's still a really good place. Unfortunately, the Orson Welles is no longer there, but that's where that's where Pink Flamingos first opened in Boston.
Well, I got to tell you, it changed my life. It went Pink Flamingos first, then Female Troubles, and then Polyester. And Polyester was very different from the other two.
Well, sure, that was a bigger budget movie. It had odorama in it. It opened above ground in a lot of theaters all over America, and actually was kind of a hit. And so, yes, it was a purposeful. But I just always tried to make the next movie that could keep me going and made me laugh and my friends. And so, the idea of making a movie where you scratched and sniffed was a commercial idea at the time.
Odorama, and there were actual odors on the cards.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I knew that then they had tried it before. The big mistake was they only had good smells. I knew that bad smells were the key to success.
I saw a meme of yours that just flew by on Instagram, and it was John Waters' trust in your own bad taste.
Well, I don't know. It's a meme. That's just lazy writing.
Yeah, maybe you didn't write it, but
No,
I
I know.
think
You mean those little faces? I hate those things because it just learn how to write. You can't just send little signals for your response to something. Makes me crazy.
and not only writing the screenplays for these iconic films and the books where you hitchhiked across America car sick,
Yeah, I took
and
LSD at 70 in another book.
I tell you.
Um, I, I wrote about my career. Yeah, my mother always said, "Don't tell young people to take drugs." But I am doing my show in a gay retirement community, so I'm going to tell old people they might want to try it if they haven't done it for 50 years.
Exactly. Oh my God. Could you imagine everybody taking LSD at Living Out, the 55 plus premier community in Palm Springs? John Waters is going to be performing this coming Tuesday. You can go to gaydesertguide.com, look for John Waters' handsome face and pencil mustache, and click and buy tickets. There are only a very few left because to us, your family. Like,
Oh, thank you very much. And I'm lucky enough where I get to meet my fans all over the country. I have 50 some shows this year. So I'm looking forward to coming right after Oscar weekend where I'm going to be in LA.
now you're going to be in P Town again this summer riding your stolen bicycle, right?
Well, I don't steal them anymore, but in the early days, that was the first thing you did when you got to Provincetown. You stole a bike, you painted it. That was the first night. I don't do that anymore.
And there's something that happened to P-Town. Back when I was growing up, we'd get a carload of guys and we'd just go there and we wouldn't even have a reservation and we'd find a place to stay.
Well, that's different now. It's old people and dogs. But still, the young people do come and they have wild weekends and spread COVID, right?
Oh, yeah, well, hopefully not this summer. We don't want to have a summer of COVID, but yeah,
No,
so
now it's monkey balls. You don't want them either.
now, John Waters, we're all going through some tough times and people in our LGBTQ plus community are understandably nervous.
Not LBG. Isn't it just L gay? Isn't it just L and G now? He said.
Yeah, right. No, they're taking it off the Stonewall website. The yeah,
So it's just now L and G. All the other ones don't count.
yeah, exactly. So, our community is tense. You've been through a lot of turbulent times over the years, and written beautifully about them in a satirical way in hindsight, so that we've
Yeah.
been able to laugh after the time has gone by. But what are you seeking out right now as far as like, are you watching the news? Are you just
Well, I'm not one of these ones that stop watching it, but I understand because even protests now, they don't work. They don't care. So what? And there's no papers to write about them anymore because they're all being shut down. So it is a time of I don't know. It seems like we need the yippies again, but that doesn't work either because you can't make fun of them because they don't embarrass. So I don't know. I think the best thing is to sleep with your political enemy and change their mind.
okay? And get some compromising photographs too, so that you could at
Well,
least
no, you don't
blackmail.
want to blackmail. I'm for a mixed sexual world. I don't want to hang around with people that just look like me. I want to hang around. I want to hear a Republican's worst sex night too. I want to hear people's stories. So I'm not opposed. I am opposed. I'm not a separatist. I've never been. I always said gay is not enough. It's a really good start.
I'm with the Jane Fonda school, or her SAG Award speech that broke
Yeah.
the internet, where we need a really big tent.
We need a big one, and we have to think of a new way to make them to embarrass them. And it's really hard because they don't embarrass. That's the problem. So what we have to do is come up like what the Yippies did and what the people did is a new, even what the Proud Boys did on their side. Come up with something that is radical yet new, that it always involves humor in a way. Humor is the best terrorism there is. Make the enemy feel embarrassed.
Nobody does it better than you.
Well, I hope. I mean, all humor is political. Freud even wrote a book about the psychology of jokes. Every time you make a joke, it's political in some ways.
And you just have to make people feel uncomfortable while they laugh. And
But you don't make them feel stupid,
no, that's
even if
true.
they are. Even if they are stupid, you make them feel smart so they'll listen.
And that they got the joke, even though it was on them.
Well, I always said even racists liked hairspray.
I was getting my hair cut at a very straight barbershop. Eddie, the guy who cut my hair, I mentioned that I'm talking to John Waters, and he loves your movies.
Oh, that's great. I know. I go on Fox News. I did, and they're nice to me. We sell lots of books every time I go on, and I say the same crazy shit I always say.
Well, we love your crazy. Now I have to
I like
bleep.
to go in enemy territory.
Well, you are going to be among friends Tuesday at Living Out. GayDesertGuy.com for tickets to see the amazing John Waters. I was nervous to talk to you because you've been in my psyche for my entire life. And
Well, that's wonderful. Don't be nervous. I'm like, I'm fairly easy to approach.
but you've interviewed heroes and it didn't go well.
Once Little Richard, but in a way, Little Richard said I was interviewing for Playboy, and he wanted to talk about Jesus. I thought, well, I'm for Playboy. He said, how did you ask me about sex stuff? Well, you wrote about it in your book, and you're promoting your book. But then he said I couldn't leave, or his bodyguard was there. I could have beat up his bodyguard.
Well, while I have you, any thoughts on Jesus?
Well, to me, it's kind of like going down to the Eagle, a nude man on a cross. I saw that once at that, what's that S&M fair they have in San Francisco? Yeah,
Folsom.
Folsom Street Fair. It looks more like the Folsom Street Fair, where you take children to kneel in front of a nude man bleeding on a cross.
Well, now I know who I'm going to see in hell. It'll be you. John Waters.
Hell will be a soundtrack of Yanni music forever.
John Waters at Living Out on Tuesday. Thank you so much for being on Kgay 106.5 and 92.1.
Thank you. I hope to see you there.
Hey, John, just before you hang up, since you are an icon to all of us, would it be possible to get you to do one of those radio station things? Like, hi, this is John Waters.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Hi, this is John Waters, and you're listening to Kgay 106.5 and 921. Is that what it is?
Just say 92.1 and I'll edit.
Okay, right, ready? All right. Hi, this is John Waters, and you're listening to Kgay 106.5 and 921. Oh, it's 90. Say it again. How do I say the last one?
Just repeat after me like a parrot. 92.1.
92.1. Okay. Hi, this is John Waters, and you're listening to Kgay 106.5 and 92.1. We're going to be filthy. Keep on listening.
This is the biggest moment of my life. I just directed John Waters.
All right, good. I'm not good if I didn't write it.
I know. It's wonderful. Thank you, John.
All right. Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.